Hey y'all, it's Katie. Welcome to this video practice for this week. So if you haven't already done the practice for last week, I really recommend that you go back and do that practice first. Just has some great baseline information for what we're deepening into here this week today, which is another bone-based meditation practice. Really, really helpful for calming and soothing the mind and nervous system, and for relieving pain, whether that be emotional pain or physical pain, from the mind-body system complex. And we'll again focus this meditation, just like last week, on the pelvic region today, but in a little bit of a different way. So you'll go ahead and bring your hands to your ASIS bones on the hips again. Those are those two front pokey outy bones on the front of your hips. And I'd like you to also sense into and feel where the tip of your tailbone is. The very, very tip of your tailbone. And with these three bony landmarks, we have the two front pokey outy bones of the hips, and we have the very, very tip of the tailbone. I'd like you to, in your mind, the eyes can be open or closed, draw a downward-facing triangle between these three bony landmarks. And it can be really helpful to do it in this specific way where you go from the left to the right, to the tailbone, and then back to the left. So you're just drawing a line, almost like you could take chalk within the body and just mark out this downward-facing triangle of the pelvic bowl. And we'll stay with this for about 90 seconds. It takes 90 seconds for our bodies to sense and map our bone structure out. So we'll just stay with it, these three bony landmarks. And if you are drawing that triangle in one direction, go ahead and switch. So you're going the opposite way with your triangle now. Opposite way with the triangle here. And draw your awareness now to the very, very tip of the tailbone, the very, very tip. And imagine a golden orb of light at the very tip of the tailbone. Just let that orb of light trace its way up the tailbone, up the sacrum, and along the entire spine, all the way into the neck, up the back of the head to the crown. And then take that orb of light and trace it right back down the entire vertebral column, back to the tip of the tailbone, just sensing and feeling the bones of the body as this light grazes up and down the spine, up and down the spine. And just notice and see if you can feel, while you're simultaneously tuning into this line up and down the spine, if you can also tune into the downward facing triangle with your two front hip bones and the tailbone. So really the shape we're creating here is a downward pointing arrow. Downward pointing arrow. And it's created from the line of the spine, the ASIS bones, and the tip of the tail, creating this downward pointing arrow from the crown of the head to the tailbone, Stay with that a little longer, and as you hold awareness in this downward arrow shape of your bone structure, notice simultaneously what is happening for you in the body. You might feel a little more saliva in your mouth. You might feel a really soft baby bunny breath in and out the nose. More warmth in your hands and feet. These are all just signs that we're accessing a parasympathetic nervous system state. Really good signs. Spend a couple more moments here, downward pointing arrow from the crown of the head down the spine to the tail, and also connected to those two bony landmarks on the front of the hips. If the eyes did close, you might just gently open them once again. Tune into and take in the visuals from the surrounding space. Let the body really absorb and feel where you are in time and space. And when you get the chance, go ahead and leave a comment below with how that experience felt for you in your body. I'd love to hear your experience with this practice. I hope that you enjoy it and find it helpful. Definitely, if you did find it helpful, bookmark it. It'll be really useful to come back to later when you're feeling a little stressed or out of sorts. It's a great resourcing practice for the mind, for the nervous system. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week, and we'll tune in together again next week for another practice. Namaste.